Well, hello. So today we're going to speak about police brutality. Yes, we're going to speak about police brutality. And hopefully you can look at this from an open mind, with an open heart, and come into this with a sense of understanding and sense of empathy for both sides. So we're going to explain both sides and see where we can have a sense of empathy for the other. So on one side, you see black parents. And I'm going to use these various different elements. You see black parents who fear for the lives of their children, who genuinely fear for the lives of their children because they're seeing this play out in the news where people feel they need to use the shield in order to play out whatever sick fantasy they may have. That's the way it's perceived. That these people have a right to murder other people. That's the way it's seen from one particular side. And that's not that to create a systematic element that will assist murderers in killing people and a specific type of people is just I hope that people can sit down and place themselves like, what if you, because of the color of your skin, were targeted by a specific group of people? And that's how it felt. That's how it felt because of what the media coverage was, because of what is happening in the world. So, how would you feel? How would you feel if that was the case? I think a sense of empathy in that aspect. So, we talk about that. On the other aspect, you see this horrific shooting that just happened in Dallas, where a mentally unstable human being was brought to that point of trauma where they couldn't handle it anymore, and they went on to try to kill police officers because, in retaliation, because of what has happened. So as a nation, I mean, so you see police officers are fearful for their lives because of what is out there and what the perception. I mean, these individuals put their lives on the line every day. They swear to protect and to serve, and they have families, they have loved ones, and they put themselves out there on the line every day to protect us. And to have this play out in the media eye and to have individuals have a perception and have whole rallies in order to address the issue, it just it's a heated time, needless to say. So I think looking at it from both sides, I mean, it's parents on both sides. It's people who are fearing for their lives. If you think about it, it's people who are fearing for their lives, and why? Why are they people fearing for their lives? So what can be done? What can be done? First and foremost, I recommend you celebrate Peace Day, September 21st. I think it's a really important time and a really crucial time to be able to celebrate it, however many way you may want to celebrate it. You can check out peaceday.org. I'm including a link at the bottom in order to send that energy out. I'm all about energy, and I think that energy can really shift things. So first and foremost, there's that. Second of all, a PR move in regards to for the police department. I think that the police department as a whole, as a national police department, needs to condemn these particular individuals that seem to feel like they can take matters into their own hands and do these atrocious things. They need to look inward and address and just restructure the whole element of what is happening. We need to get automatic rifles off the streets. That's just it. We need to get automatic rifles off the streets. Uh, I think that it's only supposed to be in the hands of police officers and the military. And sometimes the question becomes, you know, and whatever you believe, the question becomes whatever you believe. Some people say it's freedom of arms, and some people, but I think we are arriving at this particular point in juncture in time that we need to deal with it. We need to deal with it because the people that are there to protect us are now being jeopardized. So what is happening, and who do we trust? Who do we trust? So those are the questions that, and building a sense of trust. I think that I kudos to several police officers who have come out and said, like, this is not me. That's not me, and this is who I am. And I think that as individuals, I think police officers, it would benefit them to come out on YouTube and say, this is who I am. This is in my family. I'm not a racist. I don't profile. I do my job. I protect and serve. I work within my community. And I hope that Kamal Bell, does a ride along with the police officers to find out what's going on. It's a time for conversation. It's a time for healing, and it's a time to come together. And I do believe that after all this is dealt with, that we are going to be a stronger nation, and that we are going to be a nation that works with the police and that looks up. Remember when people ask you, what do you want to be? A police officer, like you're like Charlie's. You're talking about like different kinds of police officers, detectives, Charlie's Angels, Law and Order, CSI. It just various different kinds of people within the legal and political in the police system. And I Law and Order. Anybody who knows me knows I'm Law and Ordery. I think it's Law and Ordery. That's Law and Ordery is law or a civilian. I think it's civilian is the SVU version. I've gone on way too long, but I love police officers because of what they do at the root core. So I think maybe it is time to, even within this tragedy, to say, there are bad people that are doing bad things. And maybe the media maybe the media is the villain. Maybe the media is the one who's making, everybody out to be a monster. And if there is police brutality, we need to deal with it. Like, we can't let these people get away with it because it's making the police look really bad. So we need to go back on these cases from a United States standpoint. I'm like, sure, in your state, you may have gotten away with it, but we need the FBI to go in there and the CIA, and I don't even know who else, to go in there and investigate about how this impacts the entire nation and the sense of trauma that this particular little incident had on the entire nation. I think that's what needs to happen for the safety of Americans, for the safety of police officers. And then once you arrive at the discussion and see that this is for what it is, that people are being murdered because people take the law into their own hands and they had twist the law into this strange, bizarre sense, then you'll start really understanding what is happening, that these bad apples are there, and then the police system will be able to filter them out and deal with them accordingly. Thank you, and I wish you a wonderful year. Take care.